All right, this is like take two or something. Okay, right? So I'm gonna get right into it because I've made some new discoveries, and these new discoveries led me back around 360 degrees, full circle to the starting point of the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse engineer the process for you and include what I have discovered. Okay? So, the most recent thing I've been speaking about and teaching about is private trust, right? But what we're going to do is go all the way back to the point of not being free, right? I'm going to explain how to free yourself from the system, how to become financially free, and how to secure yourself and your family, okay, and your staff, if you have one, and you all should. So let's get into it. Now, here's what I discovered, right? From the starting point. From the starting point, I've taught you in the past that the elite have gone to the IRS using the 1611 Bible, and they have converted their legal name into nonprofit organizations. I taught you this years ago, and I emphasized it in class. For those of you who don't know, I taught a class. I emphasized this in that class. Now, in me practicing and studying and working at this private trust stuff, I ran into the fact that private trusts and corporations work together. And so, in me studying that, I learned about P3 relationships. A P3 relationship is also known as a PPP relationship, which is actually a public-private partnership. Okay? Now, in me studying public-private partnerships, I stumbled upon, and I really stumbled upon it. And how I find all of this stuff is I follow my spirit, right? So a lot of the cool stuff that I run into it by accident, looking for something else, right? And so what I bumped into, was how the elite do this, okay? So at this starting point, we'll take John Doe, since everybody knows John, right? We're going to take John Doe. John Doe John Doe is 17 years old. This is the 17-year-old John Doe, okay, right? John Doe is about to turn 18 in an hour, right? And so John has a best friend who's a millionaire. His family, he comes from a family of millionaires. So his friend is rich kid, right? Trust baby. Ooh, right? Trust baby, rich kid, right? And so he tells John what to do when he turns 18. Now, what he teaches John is how to do this. So, when John does this, his status changes, okay? From regular John to celebrity, elite status, okay? Right? By doing this one simple thing, right? New identity, new background, new credit file, new status, right? Okay. he teaches John that this can be done online in less than 20 minutes. Okay? Right? Change your life, 20 minutes. Guaranteed. Tells his best friend this. His family has been doing it for generations. Nobody else knows about it, but this is how they do it. And so John, who, you know, who we know as a regular citizen, is about to walk into a world of trouble, right? John agrees to do this. Takes him about 15 minutes. Goes online and changes his life. Okay? Now, mind you, this can be done without, before, or after being baptized and receiving a new name from God and that status. Okay? Because people wonder, right? People have been wondering, okay, once I do that, Machette, how do I actually operate in the public and handle my bills and, and handle my expenses? And so, it was my responsibility to dig, and help people with that. Because as a trustee on the private side, it's pretty easy. Everything is done in a trust name. The trust covers you, right? Okay, yes, it does. Now, personally, right, how do you handle your personal life? Well, you handle your personal life with the cash that you're paid through the trust. It's no problem. Pay everything cash, right? Yeah, but there's something missing, right? What's missing is, now mind you, I'm going to bring this up because a lot of people talk about, trust and having trust and everything, but I'm going to strike a nerve right now, and I'm going to pose a question to everyone. That question is, are you being treated like a trustee? Are you being treated like a beneficiary? You're being treated like a grantor. You're being treated like a. Are you receiving this treatment, or do you just have papers that you don't know what to do with? Right. You see people that have fully operational trust are actually treated that way. Okay, out there, and there's a reason for it. Now, the people that know what I'm about to say are considered as the 1%. The 1%. Now, they're not the 1% because it's kept a secret. Right? These people are the 1% because nobody listens. And for the small percentage of people that listen, almost none of them actually do it. So the numbers just end up being that way. Okay? Because I'm presenting it to you now. And that number, I don't know how, but that number is still going to be 1% after whoever hears this does what I'm about to say. Right? Now, John changes his life in 15 minutes. Now has a new credit file, new background, new name, or the old name, right? Now let me explain how that works. John can take John Doe and convert it into a corporation. He can obtain an EIN number for this corporation. He can register with the Secretary of State for articles of incorporation if we get incorporated. And by doing this, John is treated now as a corporation, and not a citizen. And so I'm going to explain something very important to everyone, which is the difference between a citizen and a corporation. Holy crap. All right, look, here's the deal, right? You would think, right, that the legal name, quote unquote, the legal name, you would think that the legal name was a corporation, right? Right? And they're like, it is. What are you talking about, Machette? It is a corporation, right? Yeah, I know, right? No, okay, it's not a corporation, not anymore. Okay, what happened was the United States Incorporated has found a way, devised a way. They haven't found anything. They devised a way, right, to convert corporations into citizens. Okay, right? All right. Now, which is eliminating the competition, mind you. So the original status of the corporation was converted into the status of a citizen, right? Now, the difference between corporations and citizens are corporations gain, right? How can I say this? Wait, let me say this the right way. Let me make sure I say this right. Corporations, they earn money, right? So they consume goods to earn money, right? Citizens consume goods to spend money. And so that difference makes all the difference in how people are treated, right? Because in the public, you're either treated as a corporation or a citizen or a priest, right? But you're treated as a corporation or a citizen. Here's the ass kicker, okay? Right? Doctors, athletes, actors, writers, entertainers, lawyers, they all know this, and they all do it. And that is why they are treated that way in society. And Joe Schmo is not. Okay? Okay? Right? Now, this is to say that there is a way, and you know that I talk about the entities and how, what entities actually are and how all of that works. Now, listen to what I'm about to say. What you are doing is you are converting the negative dead entity into a positive living entity. And then you are fusing, listen to what I'm saying, you are fusing with the entity so that you are now operating in the public as a living, breathing corporation. Right? Right? Fusing. You're like half man, half corporation. Right? It's crazy. It's so, right? How this works is that, and I know this, just please bear with me because this is what is being done out there, okay? right? And this is what everybody's looking for, right? And I've tried to tell everybody that it's simple, it's not that hard, and that these rich people are laughing at everybody going through all of this crap just to be free from the system and just to be financially free. So I'm about to explain to you how these rich people are doing it, okay? They convert, now there's two ways they do it. You either convert the name, the legal name, into a corporation by creating a corporation with the same name, the same exact name, with the same exact name, right? You get an EIN number for that corporation. You register that corporation with the Secretary of State, right? Right? Okay? And at that point, you are living now as a corporation. Jay-Z in one of his songs said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman, right? People don't listen, right? People don't listen. What he was saying is what I'm saying, because celebrities do this. That's why they're treated like celebrities. Now, at this point, you have options. You can do that, or you can change your name and create a corporation with whatever new name you want to be, right? And totally leave the legal name entity behind and totally just never use it again, right? Abandon it, never use it again, right? And operate now as this new legal name, this new name, and this new corporation, right? Okay. Now you are operating as a corporation and not a citizen. That is the difference between being free and being a slave. I had to pause for a minute. Okay? That is the difference. Now, here's the cool part. As I just said what the difference was. Let's talk about the numbers now. Okay? The Social Security number is the number that converts the corporation into a citizen. That's what does it. The Social Security number is an employee identification number. Employee. Meaning now you have the status of a worker and work for the United States Incorporated. Whereas if you did not, you would be able to have the potential to have the same status as the United States Incorporated, because you would be a corporation too. But they do not want that. In corporate America, the competition is heavy. And so, the objective of corporations is to eliminate the competition, which you would be if you had not been turned into a citizen. Now, what the elite are doing, what these celebrities are doing, what these lawyers are doing, what these doctors are doing, what these authors and famous writers are doing, right? What they're doing is they're creating entities, right, that have EIN numbers that work the same way that the social security number works, which means that you can go to school, you can go to work. The only difference is you're working as a corporation. You would be paid more than most because of the fact that you're coming into the job as a professional. Really, Machette, how does that work? It works, well, you'll be getting paid through a 1099. Top position at any place that you work at. It's what lawyers do. It's what doctors do. That's how they do it. Because they're working as corporations, not as citizens. So, there is a particular type, species of corporation that these individuals are using to do this, which is in the package on my website, right? And I'm not going to really pitch like that, but on my website, it's in the preferred status pack, right? It's in there, okay? They're using a specific species of entity which has a specific tax identification number. And this is the only entity type that has a tax identification number that works exactly like the Social Security number, except the status of the individual with this number is quote unquote high profile at that point. Let's see, what else can I cover before I move on? Because I said I'm going to reverse engineer this, so I'm going to keep going, right, all the way up to the point of having a trust and estate, okay? Right? Okay, now, the other option you have is, this is pretty cool too, right? You can convert the legal name into a corporation, right? With the same name. But then that corporation can have a doing business as name, which could be whatever name that you want to operate in the public as. You can do it that way also, right? Or you can create a new name, abandon the old name, and that corporation, that new corporation with the new name that you'll be operating as, because you're operating as the business is you are the business at that point. You and the entity are fused, which out there is like super powerful, man. Forget about it. That's how it works. That's how they're doing it. That's how they become super powerful and super rich, right? So what you can do is you can operate as whatever name you want to. All very, very crazy sounding. But what I'm telling you, you can go to a lawyer and talk to him about that. Yeah. Yeah, and this is a starting point. And it only takes 20 minutes to do if you're slow, man. Okay? Right? You can talk to a CPA about this. You can talk to a banker about this. They know. It's court cases. There's case law to cover this. What I'm telling you is that this is what they created for themselves. For now, and of course, we are told to seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things shall be added unto us. So it's actually in place for us. But of course, everything that's in place for us, they took it and made it and created a maze for us to go through to get to it, right? And so that's what the starting point of freedom is. Now, again, the most important thing to me is choosing sides. So I would suggest to anyone to, choose sides and do the whole baptism thing and, be reborn in the spirit first. But you have the option to do that before, after, or not at all. You see? Now, at this point, what the elite and wealthy do, what the 1% do, right, is they will then set up a trust because they are about to accumulate assets. Forget about it. There, mind you, I didn't say the coolest thing about this status and about this species of corporation, okay? This particular species of corporation, right, is special because it does not sell products, merchandise, or anything like that. This specific type of corporation sells ideas and information. Which is considered as intellectual property, intangible assets. This is what gives these people this value, is because this is the only entity type that can be matched up with a man or woman, and the value of it is based on the mind and the potential of the man or woman that is operating that corporation. Also, let me not forget to add that this specific type of corporation is a one-man corporation, which does not require any other men or women to be members of the corporation. It's a one-man show. Walking, talking, breathing company. Business, man. You're a business at that point, man. Okay? So, now, as an individual, you have covered yourself. You have changed your name. You have given yourself a powerful status. You are equals. You are an equal to anyone else out there that has that, who has a high profile status. You're their equal now. Okay? So that covers you. Mind you, your bills, you're getting a car, getting a house. You'll be qualifying for luxury stuff. You'll be qualifying for zero down this. Everything that they get, all of the perks and advantages that they have, you'll have. That's what I'm saying. Okay? And yes, this is known by lawyers, by bankers, by CPAs. It is held up in court, and this will be the first thing that John Doe does. Right? The next thing that the 1% do is they set up trusts, private trusts, because they're going to accumulate assets and they're going to need to protect their assets. They're going to need to protect themselves and their families, right? So what they do is they set up trusts to transfer their assets into. And that's where the wealth building and asset protection begins, and wealth management. That's where all of that starts. You see, so we are actually filling in the missing puzzle piece where you're actually treated like, and you can actually live like, a grantor, trustee, or beneficiary. You don't just have papers. You don't just have papers and a bank account. Your intangible assets, your ideas, your potential has value. Your energy has value, just like I told you, right? You're the value. You have the value. Wherever you go, the value goes. You convert yourself into a corporation, that value goes into the corporation. You put that on paper, it is yes. Who knows? It's unlimited. You transfer that into the trust and it's protected and nobody can touch it. I don't necessarily have to get into private trust because I already drilled into everybody's heads private trust, and if you don't know about it, you can go to my Facebook page or my website, www.machettvanhelsing.com, which is machete with two T's, Van Helsing like the movie. And the combination, right, of private trusts and corporations are so powerful that I can't even explain in one recording, right? But both entities are outside of the jurisdiction of the United States Incorporated. One entity is outside of the private trust, is outside of the jurisdiction of the IRS. The corporation does have to report and file, which who cares? You're almost paying no taxes at all, which is one of the benefits of creating this specific type of corporation, right? So now, of course, right? Because you want this entity to be a positive and living entity, I always would say to choose sides and to make sure that what you're doing is a blessing and that you're protected when you do this. But I will say again that the average Joe can just do this 15 minutes and change your entire life, your status, your name, your credit file, your background. And I'm not endorsing that anybody that has engaged in criminal activity use what I'm saying to like get out of trouble, right? But if you were a criminal, you fucking could get out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm not endorsing it. You know what I'm saying? But I have to tell you the entire truth. And when I say new identity, new credit file, new background, new name, and all that shit, I mean it. Does it work? Ask an attorney. You know somebody famous? Ask them. The difference between the artists that make it, the artists that make the millions, the artists that go platinum, the artists that get the special treatment, right? And the artists that don't, is because the artists that do, their names are corporations. They're walking as corporations. Walking, breathing, living corporations. Now, let me be specific about what could be going on here, because you guys know I'm an artist, so I know the industry, better than most. And listen, man, the other thing could be that these artists are getting signed to these labels, and the labels are actually creating the entities. So the label owns the corporation and allows the artist to operate as an employee of that corporation, and that is such a sucky setup. But That's another possibility that could be going on in the industry. But the difference between the ones that become famous and the ones that don't is exactly what I just told you. Seriously. It's not talent, it's not money, it's not who they know, it's what I just told you. The wealthy, the 1%, the difference between being broke in the hood and you can stay in the hood and have bread. It's not about the hood, you know what I'm saying? It's just the people with bread and the people without bread, right? Which is money for those that, don't talk New Yorkish. The people with and the people without, the difference between them is what I'm telling you. And don't think that the people with are, listen, when I say with, man, I'm talking about with, man. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm talking about with the people, the people with, damn it. The difference between the people with and the people without is what I just told you. You can research what I said. That is what I discovered. And what I'm saying is that is the missing piece of my puzzle. And I don't have anything. I don't need to look for anything else. So what I'm doing now is it's time for me to go out there and enjoy this. Right? So before I do that, I felt obligated to tell everybody what I found and what it is, and then I had to make sure that it was available to you too. Like I'm not like everybody else. I'm not gonna find out something like this and then go live and go get my car and my house and right and forget about everybody. Look, I'm gonna leave this with you, right? I'm gonna leave this opportunity with whoever is receptive to it, right? But I'm out of here. I gotta go enjoy this. I have to go work. I have to go manage things. I have to go operate things. I have to go work, man. And this journey has been amazing. And I've been enjoying it. And it had its ups and downs because shit happens. Life happens. Unexpected shit happens, but I tell you what, though, on the other side of not giving up is where the magic is at. Right? So, yeah, I'm going to shut up now because, this is not a class and everything. This was just me, broadcasting to update everybody on what's new. And the preferred status pack is on my website. And what I discussed with you, the process of converting your the name into a corporation or abandoning the name and creating a new corporation and being a walking, breathing corporation, that entire process is in the preferred status pack on my website. And if you're interested in trusts or setting up a private sector business or business trust or community trust or any of that stuff, or you need help with anything, right? Go to my website. Seriously, I don't care what you need now. You can get help on my website. You could be homeless, because I provide free ebooks that show you exactly how to get money right now. You can start today. Also, I wanted to say, because that reminded me, this process that I'm telling you about, you can start as soon as you get the package. You can have changed your status, credit file, identity, background, everything in 20 minutes. Seriously. And lawyers, I'm telling you, you could, at this right here, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The process is complete now. I don't even know what to say. I'm about to go enjoy this. I'm about to go do it. Right? I already did it. Me and my wife did it. Me and Lola have done it. We both have our corporation set up, and we're about to go out there and enjoy it. Move into this new house and have some fun finally. We've worked hard enough, we've been through a lot, and we deserve it. And anyone who is receptive to this and has made it through all the crap to the point where you're listening to this right now, you deserve it too. This is Machette VanHelsing, and I'm out of here.